we went into detail and showed you why. It ain't got nothing to do with race. The Father know what type of tree that they are. See, He know what type of tree that we are, right?
Wait, I'm curiosity. Do every tribe got their own tree?
You are a tree. Think about it. Like, exactly. You are a tree. That's why you have to monitor the way, examine the way you act, because you don't know who's coming through your line. You don't know who coming through your line.
What do you mean coming from?
Your children, and your children, and your children's children. The things that you do now can affect them later. That curse will pass down.
So wait, out of curiosity, since my dad doesn't know the truth, it won't affect me if my dad is Jerome or his ancestor.
You sure about that? All our ancestors are messed up. Yeah. Look at us now. We all in here, ain't we? You know?
If you listen to what Quan said earlier, how can you can change that now? Getting the laws, that's commandments. You can break it. And you can save your seed that you're gonna have after you.
Yep.
And that's what we're doing today. We're coming back to our truth, our laws, and commandments, what the world took away from us. And they gave us, there's no law, there's no statute, there's no commandment, there's no judgment. They say, do what you want to do, eat what you want to eat. We know the scripture tells us that. But to break that curse and then break that generation curse to get back to these laws, that's commandment.
Rejoicing in the truth. So that everything in the good book is about It's all about a effect. Rejoice, remember, repent.
Yep.
So everything has to be with RE effect in this good book. Just keep that in mind. Three. And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. For it came to pass, when Solomon was old, that his wives turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with Ahiah, or Shurahiah, as was the heart of David his father. For Solomon went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of the come on sister, Zidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Amorites. And Solomon did evil in the sight of Yahiah, and went not fully after Yahiah as did David his father. Then did Solomon build an high place for Chemosh, the abomination of Moab, in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon. And likewise did he for all his strange wives, which burnt incense and sacrificed unto their God. And Yahiah was angry with Solomon, because his heart was turned from Yahiah of Israel, which hath appeared unto him twice, and had commanded him concerning this thing, that he should not go after other gods. But he kept not that which Yahiah commanded. Wherefore Yahiah said unto Solomon, for so as much as this is done of thee, and thou hast not kept my covenant, and my statutes which I commanded thee, I will surely rend the kingdom from thee, and will give it to thy servant. Notwithstanding, in thy days I will not do it for David, thy father's sake, but I will rend it out of the hand of thy son.
So he's saying he's going to take it out of your hand, not your hand, but he's going to give it to your son. Excuse me. What's going to happen here is that Solomon wouldn't lose it right then, right? Y'all see that? It's going to come down to his son. Then it's going to be a big mess. That's when the kingdoms are going to split. You're going to have northern, you're going to have southern kingdom. Right? That's when you have what you call Ephraim, and that's when you have Judah. Right? Keep going, brother.
Says, okay, howbeit, I will not rend away all the kingdom, but will give one tribe to thy son for David, my servant's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, which I have chosen. And Yahiah stirred up an adversary unto Solomon, Hadad, the Edomite. He was of the king's seed in Edom.
Start right there. That was the start of it. Now it's starting already, because he started to follow false gods. Go ahead.
Okay, so wait, he said he was worshiping Moloch?
He was worshiping a bunch of gods. All these women that you seen that he married, they all had gods that came along with them.
Because I see Moloch, I have a cousin of Moloch. When you drop your seed, you're worshiping Moloch then?
I already went over this.
Okay, then, yeah.
He going over this all the time.
Let's don't talk about it.
If you do it, you know what you're doing.
I was just clarifying it for King Solomon, because King Solomon,
No.
because he was a king, so.
I just said we went over this before. You
But-
said notes.
Yeah.
You said notes written down.
But he's a king, so I thought things would change
All right,
since
now.
he's a king.
Our ancestors was making our children walk through fire. They was sacrificing our children through fire. Which ultimately you sacrificing whose children?
His children.
You sacrificing his children.
His children.
See what I'm saying? All these women came from different kingdoms. They all had different gods they would follow. When you read other books, you're gonna understand that the Father put spirits on them to lead them away from him. Now those spirits are what are what demons. Demons some of them consider themselves gods, and you worshiping to them.
Yep.
When Solomon went and started worshiping these women gods, those were demons. The Father got jealous. See, so he ripped the kingdom in half.
That's idolatry.
Well, like he was asking that question as if Solomon just worshipped each one of these gods because they were there. It wasn't that, but he married those women. See, when he married those women, they had influence.
Yeah.
And their influence continuously was after him. And it pulled him away from the most direction. You know? And it was pulling him after them.
Well, I thought you said head of the household, so you shouldn't really have that issue. But like you said about nations, but you did say that they have demons on those other nations, so.
Go back to verse 3.
That there was
let
a
me show you
700 concubines.
Yeah, I was about to say,
You got 700 concubines.
With all those spirits.
You got all
Yeah,
those
300,
spirits.
300 concubines, 1,000 wives.
700 wives, princes, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart.
So wait, what are princes are? What are the difference between princess and a wife?
No.
Okay, I'm out of y'all talking. Let's go, let's
First,
talk.
sister, you had a question.
Yes. Verse 13, right? Can you read that again?
Howbeit, I will not rend away all the kingdom, but will give one tribe to thy son for David, my servant's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, which I have chosen.
So when Ahijah said that he would not rend away all the kingdom, that's right there. He's telling you that he did not do away with
Judah.
Right?
Judah, the whole tribe, the
Perfect.
whole nation of Israel.
Right.
So not necessarily a question, but a statement. That is why over in the New Testament, it's only saying about Jews. Only speaking about the Jews, because he didn't do
Because you had
away.
the northern and southern kingdom.
Correct. And he did away with the southern kingdom.
They are the Gentiles, you know.
And that's why the
That's
Messiah
right.
had to come back and gather them
They were the
back.
Gentiles. The Jews is Judah, which is other.
To gather back who though?
Right.
You said southern kingdom?
The northern and southern kingdom had to be rejoined. Because when you go to Hosea, I don't know if everybody want to turn it real quick, because I like to answer with scripture. Go to Hosea. Hosea. Hosea chapter 1, right?
Hosea.
Yeah. Or Hosea. The one thing I've learned, Paul actually quotes Old Testament. He actually quotes other books too. At first, I didn't understand Paul's writings. When I first woke up, I thought the word Gentile was talking about everybody in the whole planet, but it's not talking about them. The 10 tribes that got sent away, Ephraim, they turned into Gentiles, like all of us were at one time, because when we started following the law, we were lawless, right? And Father woke us up. We're following the law again. We're no longer Gentiles. The people of the nations, or what you would see in here called heathens, they were never given the law in the first place. See, go to Hosea chapter 1, 10 and 11, right? And again, we know the kingdoms, we haven't been rejoined yet. Right?
Okay, Hosea
Mhm.
10. Everyone has it?
Actually, started 9. Yeah, started 9, I'm sorry.
Hosea 1, verse 9.
Mhm.
Hosea 1, verse 9. Then said Jehiah, call his name Lomiah,
Yes, Lord me.
Lord me, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your Jehiah.
Mhm.
Yet the number of children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered, and it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living Jehiah. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together, and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land. For great shall be the day of Jezreel.
This hasn't happened yet. We can prove it too.
So I'm gonna call him a new name. I'm gonna call him a new name because it says the Most High call his name Lo-Emi.
Lo-Emi means you are not my people. Now, it's a part in Romans chapter 9, right? It's going to say at one time you didn't have mercy, but now you have mercy. If Christians read this off to you, they'll tell you, oh, that was us because we didn't have mercy. Now we have mercy. That wasn't talking about them. That was talking about the other tribes. We're all familiar with the story of the Samaritan woman, right? And the Samaritan woman was an Israelite. I had to read that and look at it. We're going to get that too. Let's go to Romans 9 first, right?
You said she was like
She was an Israelite. I'm going to prove that to you, that she was an Israelite. Remember, the Israelites are the only ones that knew of the law. No other nation knew of the law. They didn't know the Messiah. They didn't know any of that stuff. They didn't care, right? We're going to go to Romans 9. We're going to go to Romans 9, and we're going to read verses 1. We can go up, sis.
My question is, are we gonna finish in, First Kings?
Yeah, we're going to come back. Yeah, we're going to come back. I'm sorry, but I didn't even take it. Just that I know you had something. I got it back. Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Okay, Romans 9, verse 1. I said the truth in Messiah. I said, Mashiach, I lie not, my conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Ghost, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed for Yeshua, for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and of the service of Yahweh, and the promises.
Stop right there. Verses 4. The promises, the law, the covenants, all that stuff is only pertaining to who? The Israelites. We are reading this right here. New Testament Paul speaking, right? Keep going.
Whose are the fathers, and of whom as concerning the flesh Yeshua came, who is over all, Yahweh blessed forever, so be it. Not as though the word of Yahweh has taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel, neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. That it is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of Yahweh, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. For this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the promise of Yahweh according to the election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth.
Stop right there. It's not about works. It's not about works. Before you did anything, you was in the womb, you was already selected. This promise was only given to Israelites. There's no replacement theology in this. You have to understand how Paul speaks. Paul speaks as a lawyer. He was a Pharisee, right? Keep going.
It says, and not only this, but Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of Yahweh according to the election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with Yahweh? Yahweh forbid. For he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion.
So that part right there, just to back up, back there in 13, usually people always say that we hate Esau. Father hated Esau before he was born. Before he even came out, he was already hated.
That's right.
Right? Keep going, brother.
It says, so then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of Yahweh that showeth mercy. For the scripture says unto Pharaoh, even for that same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might shew my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Therefore hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will harden. Thou say unto me, why doeth he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will? Nay, but, O man, who art thou that repellest against Jehovah? Shall the thing formed it say to the that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Has not the potter power over the clay? Of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor?
Other words, you cannot choose your destiny.
That's
You
right.
cannot choose your destiny. It's already written.
For a time. That's right. That's
The
right.
saying is right here. You just clay. He formed you the way he want to form you. Pharaoh was raised up just for the reason so he could declare his name. Yeah, Pharaoh had a personal life. He may think he was in control of his life, but he wasn't. We see this right here in Scripture. We went over this in classes in the past. He hardened his heart. Just quick example, when Moses went before him, he said, let my people go, right? Why did the Father have to harden his heart?
So it's a show
To show his power, because Pharaoh would say, yeah, go ahead and take him. If his heart was just, okay, yeah, go ahead. But he hardened his heart. No, I ain't letting him go. See? Keep going, brother. Verse 19.
He says, thou wilt say then unto me, why doeth he yet find fault? For who has resisted his will?
Can't resist his will. Keep going.
Nay, but, O man, who art thou repellest against Jehovah? Shall the thing formed it say to him that formed it, why hast thou made thus? Has not the power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel to honor and another unto dishonor? What if Jehovah, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? And that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared its glory. Even us, whom he has called.
Now, pay close attention to this, right? So now we know there are vessels of wrath fitted for destruction. That's what their creation is for. Then you have vessels of mercy, right? That's going to get the glory. And we all know who that is, right? Now, keep going, brother.
It says, 22. Okay, 22 again.
Yep.
What if Jehovah, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction, and that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto glory? Even us, whom he hath called, not of the Jews, not of the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles.
Gentiles stuff right there. Now, when you read this with a Christian mind, it looks like he's saying, everybody, yeah, y'all come on in, yay. That's not what it's talking about. Keep going, brother.
He said, as he said also in Osee.
Right there. That's supposed to be Hosea. It says O-S-E-E in some Bibles. That is Hosea. That's the precept to go back into the Old Testament. Paul is quoting the Old Testament.
So he had like some type of source of a Bible.
They're like scrolls. Remember, if Paul was like a lawyer, what do lawyers do?
Read.
They read. They read.
And also speaking the language that is hard to understand.
Legalese.
Yeah, right.
Legalese, right? Keep going, brother.
I will call them my people, which were not my people, and her beloved, which was not my beloved.
Now, didn't we just read this in Hosea? Everybody flip back to Hosea. Keep the markers right there. Go to Hosea 1. We're going to go back to 9, 10, and 11. Keep your markers right there. Hosea 1, 9, 10, and 11, right?
Okay, then said Jehovah, call his name, Lomia, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your God. And it says Jehovah, excuse me. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered, and it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, therefore it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living Jehovah. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together and appoint themselves one head. And they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of judgment.
Yeah. Now, back to Romans. Paul was quoting this right here. Please tell me y'all follow. Y'all follow. Going back to Romans now.
I'm in Romans.
Yep.
Romans
Paul was
chapter-
quoting Hosea. Remember, the kingdoms haven't come back yet. So the Jews is really supposed to be Yehuda, or that's how you pronounce our name, Yehuda or Yehudim. Gentiles are the other tribes, the other 10 that was out there. They are considered Gentiles. They was considered not my people. Now he's saying, even us, whom he has called, not of the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles. So he's calling them back. But remember, the only way they could come back is that Yeshua had to be sent so that we could be redeemed. Our Father sent him so that we could be redeemed. He didn't say he was redeeming us. He said, I come to do the will of my Father.
It's the northern kingdom.
The northern kingdom can come back. See, remember, he never wrote the Jews the bill of divorce, or Judah. Judah never got that bill of divorce. We got punished, but we didn't get divorced. They did, because they justified their filthiness. See, questions?
Anybody understand where we're at so far in this lesson? Anybody understand about the southern kingdom, northern kingdom, and why Messiah had to die for our sins in that world?
So I'm trying to understand. So he died for us, but the other kingdom, the southern and the northern kingdom, I mean, so they won't be coming back in?
No. He died for them too. That's what I'm saying. Because remember, they're Israelites.
Right.
Remember, he died for them too. What is it? John. Go to John, everybody. I hate jumping around. I want to finish that point, but let me show you something about that Samaritan woman, right? Because everybody always says that, oh, the Samaritan woman, oh, be a good Samaritan, right? But what they don't understand is that, let's see, John chapter 4. That's St. John 4. I gotta show my wife, it's little key things that you have to underline, little key points that you have to pay attention to, right? Let me know when everybody there. St. John 4. We're gonna start at verse 1. And remember, New Testament, you hear Jews this, Jews that, Jew yada yada yada, right? You never hear about tribe of Naphtali. You never hear about the tribe of Ephraim. You never hear about the tribe of Manasseh, Issachar. You don't hear them really come up. Zebulon. You only hear Jews. The whole house of Israel is not Jews. Always remember that. New Testament, remember, they'll say, well, the Jews rejected Jesus, so that means we can come in. And I ask this question, well, did Naphtali do it? Who was Naphtali? You don't read the Old Testament, so how do you know? See, you have to read Old Testament to understand you, right? St. John 4, and we're gonna read and pay very close attention to this story about the Samaritan woman, right?
When therefore Yeshua knew how the Pharisees had heard that Yeshua made and baptized more disciples than John, though Yeshua himself baptized not, but his disciples, he left Judea and departed again into Galilee. And he must needs go through Samaria. Then cometh he to the city of Samaria, which is called Sychar, near to the parcel of ground that Jacob gave to his son Joseph. Now Jacob's well was there. Yeshua, therefore, being wearied with his journey, sat thus on the well, and it was about the 6th hour. There cometh a woman of Samaria to draw water. Yeshua says unto her, Give me to drink. For his disciples were gone away unto the city to buy meat. Then saith the woman of Samaria to him, How is it that thou, being a Jew, askest to drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with Samaritans.
Now right there, the Jews didn't have no dealings with the Samaritans. They ain't talked to them. So that's what she asked him. She's like, what you doing? You a Jew. You don't have no dealing with us. Mm-hmm.
But
Keep that in mind. Hold on now. Keep that in mind. We're going to bring it out. Keep going, brother.
Yeshua answered and said unto her, if thou knowest the gift of Yahweh and who it is that saith to thee, give me to drink, thou wouldst have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water. The woman said to him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. From whence then hast thou that living water?
Verse 12. Pay close attention.
It says, art thou greater than our father Jacob?
Stop right there. Why did she say our father Jacob? If she from another nation, why is she saying our father Jacob? Jacob was only the father of who? The Israelites, 12 patriarchs, right?
That's right.
So she's saying our father Jacob did what?
Which gave us the well and drank thereof himself and his children and his cattle.
She's letting you know right there, she's from a tribe.
Yeah.
She's an Israelite.
but what tribe?
It don't matter. She's from a tribe. She's not a Jew. That's what we're trying to get you to see. Where they got into these scriptures and tried to twist stuff.
Yeah, that's a twist.
Now I see.
Because it said, she lived in Samaria. That didn't mean she wasn't an Israelite, because she lived there.
She lived
That's
there.
why when the scripture said, go to all nations, because not to wake up those nations is to wake up our people that's in those nations.
Yeah. Who's gathered.
That's right,
Yeah.
that's right.
Mhm.
Could I potentially counter that Greek Jew thing, the
Right.
relationship?
I was gonna
Yeah.
say that.
Mhm. Oh yeah. What's the question? Bring it out. So I
Could
can-
I potentially counter with that Greek Jew? thing?
Yeah, when they said there's neither no Jew nor
Right.
Greek.
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah, and like one of the questions I ask people, I'm like, are you Greek? They be like, no. And then you're like, you definitely not a Jew, so how does that pertain to you or the whole planet? That would, oh, you got no something.
I'm sure I think he said it was no male and female. We know there's a male female, right?
Right.
So that's a power. We gotta understand that power. It's not saying there's no Jew, no Greek. We gotta understand that power. It said, me, we're one body. In your sight of what it's talking about. So like, all of us got our position in that one body. It's mainly what it's talking about.
And a lot of Christians, use that. Oh, it's no matter. Jew, and I've been battling with that same scripture with somebody. I'm just like,
One thing about the body, with the body right now, for example, our Father is all about order. You got your, the angels have a ranking system. So our Father, we have a ranking system down here. You got the head, you got the tail, you got the arm, you got the eyes. That's what Paul uses the scripture about the body. The eye can't say don't need the nose can't say don't need the feet can't say don't. He said the most feeble part is the most important part of the body. So when it says that, he's talking on the parable about we're one body. All of us got our positions to build his church. You know what I'm saying? Solomon couldn't be the singers, he couldn't be the pastor, he couldn't be the preacher, he couldn't be everybody at one time, so therefore he needed people in the sanctuary to put them in their order. You know, the priesthood had an order. You know what I'm saying? So our Father got an order. So when he's talking about there's no Jew, no Greek, he's talking about the one body of all the Jews that come and preaching this word.
I got something to say on that. Man, Romans 2:8. I want to show you something real quick. It's actually talking about the Jews and the Gentiles, because there's a lot of confusion, like the brother was saying. You have the heathen, they will use a lot of things in the scriptures to twist it and make us believe that, oh, the Most High, you love everybody.
yeah.
Okay, so because actually, because I have two jobs, and one job that I have is retail for a second job, and I have people coming in all the time. They'll see my garment, and I have the heathen talking to me more than our own people,
Yeah.
because they recognize my garment, because it stands out. I wear my garment 7 days a week, and I get respect, regardless of what people think. I'm gonna follow these laws.
That's right.
And,
That's right.
and I have a guy, it was an older white guy, man. He was like, it was like, I follow the God of the Hebrews. And I'm like, what? I ain't never had people tell me that before, but this is what he said to me because he recognized who I was. And He was like, I'm a Gentile. So, okay, I keep my sword on me at all times. I'm at the register and he pull out my Bible. You know what I mean? We got customers. I'm like, you know what, wait a minute. And we got to the point where he actually stood there and waited till everybody left. And I started doing some more research and I came across this right here. Romans 2:8-15.
Romans 2:8.
Yep.
But unto them that are contentious and do not obey the truth, but obey unrighteousness, indignation, and wrath, tribulation, and anguish, up on every soul of man that doeth evil, of the Jew first, and also of the Gentile.
Okay, so we got to think about what the scripture is actually saying right here, because they don't. You have Gentiles. They want to try to play like, okay, yeah, I'm grafted in. Most High's gonna accept me too, but they're not doing exactly what we do. Okay, it's like they hiding behind the door to play like they are righteous, but they are doing some things that is unrighteous behind closed doors. So the Most High actually brings it out right here. Read.
He says, but glory and honor and peace to every man that worketh good, to the Jew first and also to the Gentile. For there is no respect of persons with Yahweh. For as many as have sinned without law shall also perish without law, and as many have sinned in the law shall be judged by the law. For not.
Okay, so right here, just the Most High, he's actually letting you know that, okay, if you want to play like you're righteous and you are doing those things that is unrighteous, that's where you're going to be punished. You can't get away from not being punished. I mean, we couldn't get away from it.
No, you can go first.
So these Gentiles here, these are Gentiles of the nations, this scripture here?
Well, the Gentiles, as we know today, the Gentiles is
Does that fall away, and the Gentiles of the nations?
well, the Gentiles, according to the scriptures, is to be the other nations. You have the so-called white people try to claim themselves as being Gentiles. They try to wear beards and look like us.
I think that's a good question. What is that?
Okay, so, sorry, I think I got it right. In Jeremiah, right? Since Solomon went off, right, the Most High already warned him what was gonna happen. He said, if you go off, this is what's gonna happen to you, right? So it didn't happen to Solomon right away. It happened to down the line with his sons, right? So the Most High called his servant when he said, his servant was Jeroboam, right? And Jeremiah 11, I'm sorry, 1 Kings 11, and bear with me, hold on, I got it. 1 Kings 11 and 11, right? The Most High said, surely I will rend the kingdom from thee, and I will give it to thy servant. If you jump to verse 31, he's saying who the servant is, which is Jeroboam, right? So once he told Jeroboam he gonna give 10 tribes to him, and he said he gotta save, remember he said he gotta save Judah for his servant David's sake, right?
David's sake, yeah.
Right? So when David died, I'm sorry, not David, Solomon, it went to his son, right?
His son, that's right.
So that's when the kingdom split. They kept Judah, Benjamin, and Levi,
That's right.
right? And then the other 10 tribes,
Right.
they went astray. Remember he said
That's
he
right,
passed
they
them
were
off, he
Gentiles.
divorced them, he
That's
did
right.
away with them.
Mhm.
So guess what they did? They went to becoming Gentiles, doing things of the world,
That's
right?
right.
So they participated in stuff in the world that we knew we wasn't supposed to do. That's how they became Gentiles. So in order for them to come back to be adopted, which is in Romans, what you just read? Romans
9:1.
Yes, Romans 9:4, when he said, who are Israelites, who pertain to the adoption, right? In order for them to be adopted in, that's when the Messiah had to come to die for them, to bring them back, which because they was divorced. So the only way for For you to marry again is if your husband died.
Yeah.
That's why the Messiah died, right? To bring these other tribes back in.
Back to him.
Right?
The
Y'all
only way to go back to the
understand
Father.
Yeah.
That's the only way to go back to the Father.
All
that?
praise,
Right,
yes.
so that's what the New Testament is all
That's what-
about.
that's
It ain't
what-
about the other Gentiles, the people of the
It's about all
world.
Israel.
It's about
This,
bringing
this,
these
this,
people back.
That's it.
right, this is a family
It's a
affair.
family
This
affair.
is a family, it's always talking about a family, this is a
Right.
family
Heritage.
book.
Right.
Our heritage.
It's like, well,
Our Father.
like it's being brought out. Brother Horner, when you said that this white man wanted to say he was a Gentile, he couldn't be a Gentile if he was a heathen. Because if you're not from from that tribe, that's the only way you can be a Gentile is to fall away. Then you will become a Gentile. Because you fell away from the
Heathen
faith.
and Gentile, the same thing though.
Yeah,
But what I'm saying, but if you, in order, the heathens are not Gentiles. The heathens are not Gentiles at all.
They are
It's from a non-Jewish.
They got the, if you're a Gentile, you got to have been, you have a chance to come back. If you're a Gentile. You're a heathen, you don't have no chance unless you come under the Israelites. And the Israelites.
All praise, all praise.
sorry.
Good, good, good.
But what we
Thank
have
you.
to understand, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, sister, go ahead.
Well, to my understanding, there's two Gentiles.
Right, that's
Right.
what.
Naturally.
The Gentile, the Gentile that fell away,
Right.
and the Gentile of the other nations.
Right.
You're right.
So that's what I'm trying to figure out here, if he's talking about the other nations, when it says, oh, let me go, I'm sorry. It says first, the tribulation and anguish upon every soul of man that doeth evil, of the Jew first, and also the Gentile. Are they talking about the nations in this particular?
Well, think about who the law was given to.
That's
Only Israel. So he said, read 12 again, Cal, it says, got it, I got it. It said, for a minute after sin, this is what he reads.
He started at 8 though?
Started 8?
Yeah.
Where you at, brother?
Started 8, she wanted to be started 8.
Where you at?
Romans.
Romans 9.
2.
Okay. Romans 9, verse 8.
Yeah.
That is
No, 2 and 8.
20.
2 and 8. Romans 2.
Yes, 2 and 8.
Romans 2.
Is that chapter 2 or?
Yeah, it's Romans 2, chapter 2, verse 8.
It says, but unto them, but unto them that are contentious and do not obey the truth, but obey unrighteousness, indignation and wrath, tribulation and anguish up on every soul of man that doeth evil of the Jew first and also of the Gentile.
So that right there, I'll respond to that. The Jew first, because we was the one who gave the laws, statutes, commandments, and judgments, right?
Right.
Now we're responsible for the other nations to preach to bring Israel back, right? So now it's going to be to the Gentiles, which is other nations. Like you said, it's two separate. You got the Gentiles, that's Israelite. You got the Gentiles, that's other nations. But when we left Egypt, we had a arraignment of other people that were
Mixed
with us,
multitude.
a mixed multitude. So therefore, there's going to be other nations of people with us in the last and second Exodus. That's going to be Gentiles that are going to be converted to coming to the law, statutes, commandments. That's why it's important that we teach the law, statutes, commandments the right way to other nations, everybody.
But it's for Jew
I'm gonna
first.
bring out a point now. Everybody need to understand this. That will not get them out of punishment. That will not get them out of punishment. Let's say we go into the second Exodus, right? Let's say we have some Ammonites make it out there, some Edomites. They still gonna get their judgment.
Yeah.
That will not get them out of that.
No.
Once the Father says it, it has to come to pass.
Yes.
That won't save you.
It ain't say
You
that.
see, judgment will come, just like us. Oh, you know, he told us don't do that. And right up to that moment, okay, Dad, we got it, we doing what we're supposed to. We still got the business. See, you're gonna get what you're gonna get once he says. If you break the law, you're gonna get the curses.
Well, my understanding has always been that the Israelites, with all Jacob's offspring, out of the 12 tribes, they are they're chosen, God's chosen people, Most High's chosen people. In order for you to be in any nation, you would be heathens. Anything other than Jacob's seed, you are heathens. That was my understanding.
Right.
Always.
I got it on the same thing, right there, what you just
Well,
said.
let me finish this. if you are anything other than Jacob's seed, you're a heathen. And Jacob's seed supposed to be the ones that can, if you do wrong, then you become a Gentile. That was my knowledge of ever knowing what a Gentile was. If you had to have fallen away from the Most High's graces, then you become a Gentile. Now, that was my understanding, so clear me up. Because anybody other than Jacob's seed, you weren't a Gentile because the law wasn't given to you.
There you go. So that's the key.
The law was never given to you.
The law, think about
So you were a heathen.
When the sister said that it was two different types of Gentiles, right? You had the Gentiles who were Israelites who went off and did things of the ways of the regular Gentiles, right? That's how they became Gentiles. So if I'm an Israelite, I know who I am, where I come from, but if I go off by following other gods, then I will become a Gentile. I'm an Israelite still by blood, but I will become a Gentile by participating in the ways of the world.
Yeah.
Right? So when the Most High is speaking about the Gentiles, and I have a question. When y'all just read Romans 9, Romans 2, 8, 9, 8 and 9, this right here was speaking about the Gentiles and the Jews who went off. It wasn't speaking about nobody else, like
Nobody else.
of the other nations. This is specifically speaking about the children of Israel, the nation.
enslaved.
Yeah.
Well, he was expounding, he won't finish, so let him finish breaking that down. He's still he was on 8.
You on 8?
No, sorry about that, brother. I ain't gonna
That's all right.
Y'all
You
my bad.
break it down. You gotta come out. I was go.
Where you at, brother?
Right there on
10,
let's
Go
run
10.
on 12. That
12. For as many as have sinned without law shall also perish without law, and as many as have sinned in the law shall be judged by the law. For not the hearers of the law are just before Yahweh, but the doers of the law shall be justified.
okay. So as it's saying right here, the ones that is following the law, statutes, and commandments is the one that's going to be justified. But we have to be careful as we are following these laws, because we can't act like we are doing what we're supposed to do according to the scriptures, but then believe that it's okay to have more than one wife. Okay, we can't just think, okay, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, but it's all right to eat pork. Okay, these are things that is unclean. Okay, these are things that defiles our body, and we shall not be deceived in any type of way or form. So we have to be careful when it comes to this truth. They read.
For when the Gentiles, which have not the law, do by nature the things contained in the law, these, having not the law, are a law unto themselves.
Okay, and this is one of the reasons why I want to bring this out is because the guy that I was telling you about earlier, we started getting to the scriptures. Like I said, I had to pull my sword out, and he said something about because I'm like, okay, you say you are a Gentile, you keep the Shabbat. He was looking like, well, I'm like, Lord, Sabbath day, you keep that day. You don't eat pork, right? You keep the feast days. It was like, no, when the Messiah came back, things had changed. Okay, so what he's trying to say is what Christianity says. The laws is done away with. So that is the reason why I started thinking, and I was finna actually bring this out, but then he ran away. I didn't get a chance. Because what I was thinking is right here when it says, which have not the law, do by nature the things contained in the law, these having not the law, are a law unto themselves. So they have the law, it just ain't our law. They have a law that is embedded in their own minds, that they feel that is right, which is not right. Because if we have that same mind state, guess what? Most High going to judge us. Because we in the law, but not doing exactly what the law says, so we're going to be judged by the law.
Oh, wow. That's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, you got a question?
Yeah, I got a question, brother. Look, didn't that happen exactly what you just said? Didn't that happen to the other tribes? When the Most High said that they, was trying to justify why they were doing the things that they did,
Israel.
right?
When they went out to serve other gods.
Yeah, when I'm talking about what you just brought out, when you said, they have the law, but their own law, pertaining to what they think is right. Didn't we go off and do that, thinking what we thought is right, and we was trying to justify it, the other nations? I mean, I'm sorry, not other nations, the other tribes, the southern tribes.
Yeah, we not only did that, but we actually was marrying the wives of the other nations.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's what I'm saying, but that's how we can get confused, that's how the Christians can insert themselves in by saying, oh, you know, the law ain't given to us, but this right here, this telling you what the Most High, inserted us in. But it's only talking to, the Israelites, yeah.
And so it's like this is the thing. You have people. This book, it was only given to a specific people.
Right.
It belongs to us. It's talking about us. It's not only our history, but it is actually prophecies that happen, and there's prophecies that have not happened just yet, but they all must come to pass, which means they're gonna happen.
Right.
That's why Donald Trump announced Israel to be Jerusalem to be the capital of Israel. Okay, and they fighting over a land that doesn't belong to them.
Right.
Okay, it's right in front of our eyes. I don't watch the news, but I hear about it because other people talk about it. Okay, so
Sorry. No, I'm just saying, you really just helped me to, see something in verse,
Verse 14.
14, you do that?
14, Gentile, for when the Gentiles which have not the law do by nature the things contained in the law, things having not the law, are a law unto themselves.
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
yeah, so if we wanna, so one thing we don't wanna do is follow what these heathens do. We wanna just continue to stay focused and follow this, because we have brothers that is actually wolves in sheep clothing that looks like they are living right because of the way they look, sometimes by the way they act, but there's things that they got skeletons in their closet that they are not revealing. Okay, and the Most High, He don't even want us to be around those type of people, brother or no brother. He don't want us to be around that. He wants us to be around the ones that is following what He said. Okay. All right. So go up to
15. Which shew the word of the law written in their hearts, their conscience also bearing witness, and their thoughts the mean, while accusing or else excusing one another.
Okay, so when the Most High talks about your heart, He's not talking about the organ in your chest that pumps blood. He's talking about your mind. Okay, your mind is a device, and He don't want us to follow our own devices. Okay, because the mind it's a wicked thing, just like our body. Our body is the flesh. Okay, so when it comes to an Israelite, and we're actually learning this truth while you are new or have been in it for a while, and we can't literally just jump into a spaceship and just get away from this wicked world. So the way we're gonna be able to do it, I have to do it, is spiritually. Okay, I'm not talking about just boom, just jump out of your body and you looking at your body. I'm a spirit, and you looking at yourself. I'm talking about mentally. Okay, we have to mentally separate ourselves. Okay, when it comes to being who you are according to the scriptures. Because if we don't, then we're gonna still be the way of the world. And most I don't want us to be that way. So that's the reason why I wanted to bring this up. Because many of our people, they have the same mind state. They think that, oh, the Most High is all for them and watching over them. But in reality, I mean, the Most High, if His eyes is blind to the ones that is not following the law, statutes, and commandments.
Test the spirit by the spirit.
He called it proud. Proud, heavy, high-minded, and the ones.
Yeah.
No humbleness, no meekness.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Good.
okay, so here we are talking about Gentiles that fell away, right? Okay, so at what point, because I know the other nations were drafted in to provoke us to jealousy. At what point did that happen? It happened after Christ or when?
When they got grabbed in.
That's start all over again.
No, he said they got grabbed.
That's Christian church.
Okay.
Go ahead, William.
What she was talking about, she's talking about when the first opportunity they had to gain salvation was to make jealousy to Israel.
I knew you went to Red Albert.
That's when they were first called
Right.
Christians.
Opportunity. Opportunity.
Where is it?
They don't know.
No, what? Say it again, sis. I don't understand.
The one with grafted in to provoke us to jealousy, when he allowed the other nations to be grafted in.
She mean Olive Tree.
No, not the olive
Not
tree,
the olive
before
tree.
that. But that's part of that.
Part of it, the grafting in.
Yeah, but,
Um,
you know, not to boast against us, but that's just before they got grafted in to provoke us to jealousy. Somebody can find that scripture? Provoking us to jealousy?
I got
You said
one.
New Testament, Old Testament.
That's
Moses
in- that's
said,
in-
Moses said it first.
That's in the,
Cause we provoke our fathers to jealousy, he gonna provoke us to jealousy also. That's in Deuteronomy. So he said, well, another nation that's not a nation of people.
Yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. sis.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Go to Deuteronomy. Yeah, let's get Deuteronomy. Exactly what you're talking about. Deuteronomy 32. Go down to 16. 32 and 16.
So
I apologize. What am I bringing that?
When we
You said
read-
that was in the New Testament.
when we read this, we're gonna see that our Father gonna provoke us to jealousy. What is jealousy? You know what I'm saying? He gonna provoke us to jealousy with a nation of people that's not a people.
He gave the nation to
It's actually in
oh, I know what she's talking about, Romans
Yeah.
11 and 14.
Romans. Yeah, that's the New Testament. That's the one I got
That's
too.
one of the precepts.
Yeah.
I need the precepts.
She went when it happened beforehand. Yeah. It's actually in the Song of Moses. Y'all heard about that?
No,
You know, heard about the Song of
wait,
Moses?
wait.
This was already predestined to happen. The Father made him write this down. It was for us today. Yep, just what you just said. Yeah, about that jogged my mind. Me and my sister, remember we read that? This actually was talking to us. Now, we're gonna go ahead and get that to what you just said. Provoked us. We provoked him to jealousy, and he provoked us to jealousy. We're at Deuteronomy 32, 16, 21, and we're gonna get that precept sister had Romans 11. That was the first my mind had jumped to. So Deuteronomy 32 first, start 16. We're gonna go all the way down to 28.
28.
So 16 through 28.
Everybody has it? Deuteronomy 32, verse 16. They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods, with abominations provoked they him to anger. They sacrificed it to devils, not unto Yahweh, to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not. Of the rock that begot thee, thou art unmindful and hast forgotten Yahweh that formed thee. And when Yahweh saw it, he abhorred them because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughters. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be, for they are.
Right there. Hold on, stop. And go back up. 18. See that part where it says, of the rock
that begot thee.
Y'all understand what that rock means?
No.
You don't? The Father's our rock. Our rock. He's married to our nation, right? We keep reading on down. 19, brother.
It says, and when Yahweh saw it, he abhorred them because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughters. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will